And now, it's time for Common Sense with Connie.
Hi, I'm Connie, the Common Sense Consultant. It's my job to tell you what you're doing wrong and how to fix it. Let's get started. Over the past couple episodes, I've been focusing a lot on the pandemic and the quarantine and the fact that we're all on social media a lot more than usual and how people are making me bananas. With that in mind, there's one more topic I'd like to discuss, and that is copying and pasting. I don't know why this suddenly became a thing, but people have run amok with it, and it's time to put a stop to it. I understand in these politically charged times, sometimes somebody's going to write a nice long-winded post on Facebook, and they don't want to make it public for every lunatic out there to comment on and come after them, because that's what happens. Nobody can ever just speak to each other civilly. So they have it set to friends only or friends of friends, and then there's always some friend who's like, ooh, can I share this? Because it's well written or whatever. And so that friend will say, sure, copy it and paste it so it's not connected to my name. All right, fine. That happens. But when that happens, at the top of the post, it should say, copied and pasted from a friend who wanted to remain anonymous. At the top, not at the bottom. I shouldn't be reading something ever that a third of the way through I'm thinking, you're not this smart. I know it's not you, but I gotta wait till I get to the very end for you to finally say, copied and pasted from a friend or from so-and-so, some famous person. It's like, why do I have to wait for that information? It's like, spoiler alert, just put it right at the top. I should know who I'm reading. Too long didn't read. I never found out who actually wrote it. Put it at the top. Put it at all. And put the text in quotes if you didn't say it. When you copy and paste something, even if you didn't remember to put attribution at the top, that means who actually said it, if you put it in quotes at the very least, I'd have a hint. And then when I got to the bottom, I'd be like, oh, who did write this? Who are they quoting? Quotes. Put text in quotes. Put quotes around the text if you didn't write it. But also, can we start questioning some of this copying and pasting? We don't have to copy and paste everything, okay? The whole copy and paste, I did. What do you want, a medal for that? It's a dumb thing to do. The more copying and pasting, the more we're out there spreading stuff we don't even know where it came from. Not everybody's opinion that they share on Facebook and then a friend copies and pastes because they like the way it was worded. That doesn't make it factual. We can't just spread whatever we want without any attention to who wrote it. So if something's copied and pasted, how about doing a little due diligence and trying to figure out what the source is before you copy and paste it too? Listen, I don't want to single anybody out. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but we've all done this. You got to question it. When you see something that says Ron Howard famously said, but it's not coming from Ron Howard's Facebook feed or Twitter feed. He's a public figure. Listen, we know celebrities have opinions and they're usually not afraid to share them. They're people too, they're citizens, they get to say what they want. But they've got a public account. Usually there's a little blue check mark, you know it's them. Share from their account so that it's very clear that they did actually say it. At least look to see if they did. People share these things far and wide, and you got to go to Snopes and then tell them, nope, Ron Howard's not the famous I am a Democrat guy. He didn't write it. I love him. I'd love to think he's that guy. He might believe all those things, but he didn't write that post. It was 2 seconds of my life to look at the date of the post, to look through his Twitter and go, I don't see it. So then why is everybody sharing it and attributing it to him? Whatever the case may be, it's not about Ron Howard. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about using your noggin for 2 seconds and questioning where your information is coming from. If it's copied and pasted, you got to take a second and try to figure out the original source material. It's too important nowadays. We're spreading so much nonsense out there. Gets to the point you don't know who to rely on. And it's because it's too easy. It's too easy to just click share. It's too easy to copy and paste and not worry about who the actual author is. And you know what? There are copyrights involved sometimes. You can't just copy something and paste it and then go la 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 on with your day. Somebody might have written out something from a book. You might actually be sharing something illegally. I mean, it's one thing if a friend says, yes, please go with God and share that. I'm happy to have you share it, but I don't want credit for it. That's a different story. But if you're not taking the time to look at anything that you're sharing when it's been copied and pasted, you don't know what you might be stepping into. So take a second and look and see if you can find the source. Ask. Ask the person who posted it, hey, where'd you get this? Go down the rabbit hole. It's not that hard. Is it so important that you have to share this? I don't think so. I don't think the world's going to end if you don't keep the chain going of this mystery post that we don't even know who wrote. It might not even apply to now. It might be from 20 years ago. Who knows? I hate having to Snopes somebody else. I hate being Snopesed myself. That's an awkward verb. But I'm just saying, I don't like it when somebody has to point out that something I've shared is inaccurate. I try really hard to make sure I know what I'm talking about before I share anything. Some people don't try so hard. Some people don't try at all. I'm asking you to try, that's all. Just think for a second. That's how it's so easy to call everything fake news, is because some of it is fake. Some of it is just shared with abandon and nobody knows where it even came from or if it's even true. So don't be part of the problem, please. Be part of the solution. Use a little common sense, because that's all you need. It's not rocket science. It's common sense. I'm just trying to make the world a better place for all of us. You're welcome.